everybody. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, strategies, everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. So, on Tuesday, the digital diva is in the house, Terry Johnson, online from New York City. She's going to be giving us some details and some strategies for social media, digital marketing. So grab your favorite notepad, tablet, whatever you're using. Get ready to engage and then apply whatever it is that you're going to learn today. Welcome to everybody watching live and on the replay. And let's get started. TJ, take it away.
Hello, everybody. How are you today? I know we're getting a late start. I'm sorry about that and I'm trying to get trying to get everything together that I need to get together before we get started. So this is the place where we talk about marketing strategy, and we want to keep it simple. We want to have I don't even want to use the word concepts because I hate using words that people are like, oh, those $25 words or whatever. But we're talking about things that you need to know in order to grow your business online. And fortunately or unfortunately, depends on how you look at it, that includes social media. So we need to talk about those things that you do online to help you grow your business and your brand. So we've been talking about branding, and I believe we talked last time about crafting a message, and I wanted to make sure that we got the point that everybody's a brand. And I've said it, I'm going to repeat it. We are not Nike, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. I don't mean that kind of brand. I mean that you need a set of things, rules that you apply when you are creating content online and social media. For now, whatever, I don't know what's coming next. It could be anything. But if you've got this core brand message down of who you are, and remember, we said it's about the things that people say about you when you're not in the room, when you're not there.
Yeah, what you're known for.
Right.
That's your brand. Oh, TJ, she helps you with social media and marketing, and that's what you're known for.
And like the Bizchicks is known, the tagline is
take the hassle out of your hustle.
Right. So see how knowing your core message, knowing your why, and that was the first step. I said knowing your why, knowing your purpose. What are you doing? I always said that you don't have to make a business plan. People think I'm going in business, I gotta sit down and make a 50-page deck. And those were the days when you had to get a loan from the bank. And you may still want a loan from the bank, but the process is more casual than the stress of I got to make a 100-page deck to take to somebody and show them that my business idea is worthy. No, we're talking about keeping it simple because you are doing things on social media, which means social media. Social means everybody's gathering in one place, having a conversation, talking. We call it networking and a cocktail party, dating. We use lots of analogies. That's to make it easy for you to grasp and remember and use, because we can talk about these things all day. I mean, we talk about them every week, but you have to put them into action. So it has my motto is it has to be easy, simple strategies to turn your followers into customers. Because there's a whole line of the customer journey where things have to be in place, and your messaging is one that definitely has to be in place because you have to know what to say, how to say it, who to say it to, and where to find. There's so many moving parts, and a lot of people give up. That's my point. I've seen people give up. This doesn't work, blah 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 blah. I'll run ads don't work, blah blah blah. Well, don't run the ads until you get this part right. That's what we're talking about. You can't run an ad if your message is broken, if you don't know what you're saying, if it doesn't connect with somebody Organic.
Or if you don't know who you are, you have the movies where people have amnesia. They don't know who they are, where they live.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about themselves, and they can't tell anybody how to help them.
To disconnect.
Hmm.
So we're trying to help with the disconnect. And I know there's plenty of people out there that have online courses and all these things to buy and whatever. And I'm like, we're keeping it simple. We're keeping it simple. So to say all that, to say that you are a brand, that means you have a message. That's all it means. That you have a message and you know how to package that message to get out to the right people, to connect with them, to speak their language so they will pay attention to you online. That's one of the other complaints. Nobody sees me online. Well, these are some of the things that we need to talk about to fix that. We need to fix that because it's broken. So that's why I'm calling this Make It Stick, because we've talked about, the core message, your why, we're talking about serving your purpose, how to, structure and craft the message. Now you got to figure out, well, how do I make this stick? Because if it's not sticky, nobody cares.
Right.
I got to be real with you. Nobody cares. Just because you're online posting doesn't mean a doggone thing. Doesn't mean anything. Everybody else is posting. So what? A lot of stuff is going on in the world. Nobody cares that, oh, well, I got my sale. No one cares unless you have that core audience that you built up, connected with your core message, and you know your why. That's how it goes. So no, I don't really care about what you're doing online as a business unless you make me care by connecting with me and some of the other things I'm going to talk today, and it makes it sticky. Because it can work. Now, there are people out there, and I brought this up about people having online courses, marketing gurus, and make 6-7 figures and because they have made the money teaching you how, but they really haven't done it. But that's a whole nother story. But I want to get into that because there's so many places to get information. There's the other part of this, the overwhelm. There's so much information, so many people talking. Oh, the digital marketing course. Now just a quick aside. I saw this the other day on Threads. I went to Threads, and one of the people I was following was mad because there's some, I won't call them scammers, but they see an easy dollar. So they're not here to help you. They see an easy dollar. And because they figured out the system or the structure, they get the easy dollar. So this person was saying about someone has I forgot what this is. This MMR. I forgot what the letters stand for. Multi something like that. And they're saying, oh, you take a course, take my course, or take a course, and it's just like having a degree in marketing. If you just take this course. No, you don't have a degree in marketing. You're just falling for the trap of that person. See, but that person, I can't fault them because they figured out their message, how to get you to open your wallet and buy this course. See, that's what I'm talking about. So there's, we're doing it for good, and some people are just doing it because it's a quick buck, and I can't get mad with them because that's the process. It's up to you, the person, to say, hey, is this somebody reliable? Is this somebody I can trust? Is this somebody that knows what they're talking about? Or they just, I'm trying to think of the thing. Is it they set up a soapbox, or they set up a stall, and they, watch this, watch that, and they take your money and then they're gone. When you come back and say, oh, this thing doesn't work, they're gone to the next city or whatever. I forgot what that's called. Like they would set up like a little, I want to say lemonade stand, but not really, because that's, kids are doing that. But they set up a booth, or they set up a thing, and they're selling hawking. That's the word. They're hawking things that sound good. And they do this. They used to do this on TV, late night infomer. Oh, and it sounds good, and you get 2 for, and you get the free shit. All of that is hawking. And I can't, like I said, I cannot fault that because the system is made to allow that. You, as the consumer, must have the discernment to realize that you are going to be taken or you're not going to get the thing that they promised. See,
Correct.
and we have a whole government division, Consumer Protection Agency, I think it is or was, because it's being dismantled. So I just, one of the things that I thought of, that because people were getting, the hawking, and the people were there's a word for it, I can't think of it, some old word, where they come in and they take your money and they're gone, they pack up and gone. So the Consumer Protection Agency was really designed to protect you, the consumer. But I'm just here to say that we are in a time where you're going to have discernment. You're going to have to decide, does this sound too good to be true? If it does, then you know what to do. But unfortunately, there are some people that don't do that. So, this was the thing that I was getting into, where I saw that post on Threads, and this person was mad because, they're coming from a good place. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that, but how can you stop that? The only thing you can do, and it's the same thing with reputation management, with having a negative review, like a business has a negative review on Yelp or wherever, and they're like, oh, how can I get that person to remove it? You can't. What you do is you have enough positivity
Mm-hmm.
come in and flood and push that down to the bottom.
Yeah, that's the thing, because when I read the reviews, they'll have one person with a 1 star, but then all
Mhm.
of the other people are at 5 stars, 4 stars,
Right, right, right,
and
right,
so I have to weigh that out. So this person might be disgruntled. Maybe they don't know how to use the product right. Something is happening, but everybody else,
right,
their experience is different.
right. And see, the business owner sees that one blemish, that one negativity, and goes, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And then they panic. But a good reputation management consultant will tell you, you respond with the negativity with kindness as much as you can. You get your. It's the same thing with a court case. You get all your witnesses, get all your
Mhm.
witnesses on your side to say, hey, this person, the judgment of the good character, I had a good experience. But that's the only thing you can do. And it's because everyone has an opinion on social media now, because the barrier to entry is easy. All you need is a phone and an email address, and you're anybody is off to the races to say whatever they like. And this is a part where a lot of corporations and a lot of businesses have issue with social media customers. But again, that's another long discussion, which we won't get into. But it's because everyone can have an opinion. And, the same thing, people were like, well, I'm not going to go live because someone will come and troll me. Well, that's going to happen. And you gotta have a plan to say, well, what do I do if somebody comes on and says something negative? You're gonna have to learn to control yourself while on camera, because there's tools in the background like StreamYard. StreamYard has tools to deal with people who come in and say things, and we just bloop,
Right.
block, delete, ban, what have you.
You
So
and see, I think sometimes people in life think, okay, because in life you're gonna run up against somebody who don't like you or don't like something you said. It happens online too. It
yes,
is not gonna be lollipops and roses and stuff. There's gonna be somebody who don't like what you said.
I know. I always say unicorns and rainbows. It would be nice, but it's not like that. So you have to decide, okay, I need to be a good judge of character, especially with AI.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know the hackers, the people trying to separate you from your money, because it's so easy now. It's so easy for them to do.
We got Dr. Tachi in the house with us today.
Hello, Dr. Tachi. How are you? Good to have you here.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that's really what I'm talking about, is that you're a brand. And it just can't, like I said, I always talk and things come to me. I was like, you're the king of your castle. And what did they used to have at a castle? They had a moat
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
they had a drawbridge. And then if you were really good or you were the king or whatever, you had people standing up through the little what are the little
Little porthole.
ramparts?
I'm gonna call them portholes or something.
Yeah,
With
they had
arrows.
names. Because you know how the castle would have the little points, and you could stand people, you know, your people, your soldiers, your protectors, whoever. And so you are the castle, you're the king of the castle's your brand. You got a moat, you got a drawbridge, you got the guys up there with bows and arrows at the top to protect. They protect the castle and the king. So that's really kind of like what you have to do. You really have to do it. So does everybody understand it? I hope that you do.
I think so.
Okay. So your brand, that's really what it is. It just came to me that you have to do that in your online social media, and you have to have the guys and the arrows on the top, and you have to
Mhm.
have the drawbridge, and you have to have, you know how they pull the drawbridge up. This is on like all the medieval Game of Thrones shows that I watch, and then they have the iron bar that they push, and they put the things, and they force the so nobody can ram the door, or they have the moat with the alligators or whatever little things in there that you can't swim through this moat because these things are gonna eat you.
Yep.
See? So and some people will say, well, I don't want to do that. That's not fair. Well, life's not fair. I don't know what to tell you. So we're here to do that. So your brand is going to be that castle on the hill when you build it, and when you want customers to come who are going to want what you have. um they want to be a part of your community. You can lower the drawbridge and let them in. Oh, walk over the moat, because the drawbridge is going to let them come over the moat, and they don't have to fall in with the alligators or whatever the animals they had in the moat. um Hey, Dr. Tati. Dr. Tati says, I wondered who was responsible for loading those diabolical creatures inside the moat. Right. I we talk, and these things come up to me because they're like, I wasn't planning on talking about castles and moats, but these are some of the things that we got to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we're building this castle, this brand strategy, this brand message that's going to stand against all of those the slings and arrows that they want to come in. And the other side is on the other side of the moat, and they got that big catapult thing, and they're throwing rocks with fire. That's the only thing I can think of. They're trying to get in. Those are the hackers and the trolls and the people that, because they're just angry. They're just angry.
And apparently you have something that they want, or
Yes.
they're jealous of, or something, but they don't like what you're doing.
Right. And so that's what I'm trying to say is, unfortunately, we have those types of people. They call them basement dwellers. But those type of people are online. It's not going to be like Fran says, lollipops and sunshine. I say unicorn and rainbows. It would be lovely. It's not going to be Candyland. It's going to be shoots and Dungeon and Dragons. I was trying to think of. So those things, you have to be prepared. So that's what I'm trying to say is, you need to be prepared, because I want you to stick with this, because the gold, the Fort Knox, the thing, the ring, whatever whatever treasure you're trying to get is online, but it's going to be those things to stop you. So we're trying to do that. So your brand message is, you're going to be, you want to craft, not crafting message. You want to know your why. We talked about that. You want to serve a purpose. Again, your why. You want to craft a message. How do I know about crafting a message? Because you want to reach the right people, because you want to bring them into your moat. You want to make it stick. You want them to come into the party. I always say about the neighborhood party, like one party is happening, and the next door neighbor's party is dead. Why? Well, I'm not going to stay at the dead party. I'm going across the street or next door to the party that's jumping with the house music and everything. That's just life. That's just how it is. So I see a lot of this kind of thinking or mindset online, because nobody sees my messages. Nobody's following me. Nobody's doing this. Well, you got to stick it out with the cats on the moat and the protection. All right. So Making it stick. There is some things that we have to talk about, and my assistant has typed up my notes. Let me get to my notes. All right. So we talked about knowing your core message. That means you want to fine tune your essence of what you stand for. You ask, what problem do I solve? What do you want people to feel when they interact with your business? You also want to know, you want to speak their language. And that's why I always talk about here. I'm not going to talk about the terms. I mean, I might mention the marketing terms or the business terms like ROAS and there's a couple others. I'm like, there's people online that just throw these business terms out like you went to school and you know. So no, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use like common simple language. So get to the point, you make it personal, you speak their language. They want real answers to real problems. So you got to know the problems because you're going to talk to them. But we want to talk about keeping it simple and consistent. So your messaging, make it stick. It should be short. People have short attention spans. Say it fast, say it well. That's where we are. I can't change that.
Yeah, that say it fast, say it well is really key, because somebody will be moved on in their mind even though you're standing there right in front of them. A lot of people talk about get to the point.
Yes. And speaking of that, real quick about YouTube, I've been loving YouTube. I'm telling YouTube. The thing about the videos now is people want to have these long intros or these long. You might want to get to the point. Sometimes people want to see that, and you can do a long intro on one video, but the next. That's why we have shorts. The short is to keep it. Hey, I took a clip from a longer YouTube video, or I took a clip from a live, and here it is. That's the little bite that gets them to come in. See, that's the brand messaging of keeping it short. You also want to keep it clear, and that's what I was saying earlier about. I want to keep it simple. I want it clear. No confusion, no jargon, no industry terms. Unless you're talking specifically to industry people, then hey, have at it. But if you're talking to the public, just realize that people don't know these acronyms. And if you want to educate them in the acronym, say, hey, I got a video on my channel, or I got a post on my Instagram. Go back. It's pinned on Instagram, or it's, tell them where it is. If you want to know all of these terms, they're there. But I'm going to use them. And if you get confused, just be a traffic cop and direct them to this, that, and the other. Your website, your YouTube channel. You've got something there. You've got a community post. You've got a play, whatever it is, wherever you are, just be the traffic cop and say, hey, it's there. Or here's another little trick. If you want to have like a FAQ or, best practice, whatever you want to call that, where the industry jargon terms are, you can say, hey, join me, sign up at your link and I'll send that to you. That I would love to do that. Instead of you trying to figure out, well, it's in my description on YouTube. It's on this or that. It's in my pinned comments on it. People like to say, well, it's there, 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 there. I'm like, it's one place. Like, you find me, it's Terry Johnson online. I don't care where you go. It's there. Find me, click on the thing, click on the link, wherever you are, send me a message. See, I'm not saying, well, it's this on this and it's that on that. And if you go to Instagram, it's this. And if you go to YouTube, it's that. See how you're diluting your brand message. Because people are confused, they don't know where to go.
And a lot of people, so like with you having Terry Johnson online everywhere, we don't have to if I'm on Instagram, I'm going to find you there. If I'm on Facebook, I'll find you there. I don't have to leave shall I say it, leave my house and I got all my TV sets up here. I don't have to leave.
Yes.
To go to another spot.
Just real quick, because I watched a little bit of the Oscars. I know we'll probably talk about it on Friday with Dr. Tachi and media, or she'll If she's doing Mediascope, I'm not sure. Maybe she'll do that. But there was a couple of people that got up there and was like, "Oh, make movies for the theater. Make movies for a movie theater so people can take their kids to the movies." And I was like, "What world are you living in, man? Oh, I forgot. You're living in Hollywood where you're making all this money. There are people out there that can't take their kids and the whole family to the movies for $200, plus the kids are going to popcorn and soda and this and that. No, when I got streaming Netflix for what is it, $19 or whatever the price is, I can put the kids in front of the TV and I don't have to worry about it." So I was like, you guys are you're not connected with reality because you live in a Hollywood bubble. I'm like, that's cool, but you're going to find out that no, we're not going to the movie theaters because they make it too expensive.
Even
Hello?
even if I can pay for the movie, I just don't want to go. I do not
That
want to get
too.
I don't want to get in my car, drive to the theater, walk across the sticky floors. Not every theater is like that.
COVID.
I
COVID and all the other things is floating around, and measles. All of the things is floating around now. I'll say
I'm good. I can put it on and all of this stuff is on there. Like if Dr. Tachi said,
forget the theater.
Because literally everything, they put it on the movies. They put like Wicked is out. I saw it up on the thing. I was like, I can watch it. It was at the theater. You notice it wasn't at the theater as long as they normally would have it. And then they brought it to the home theater. You still gonna pay. You're still gonna pay $20, right? You're still paying $20 for the movie, even at home. If I wanted to watch it right now, I could rent it for $20.
Right.
Or is that a purchase? That might be the purchase.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
The point is, they're not leaving. They're putting stuff on them. They put it out at the theater for it, but it's not staying as long as it used to. Tachi is funny. The theater, it's not staying as long, and they are bringing it to the house. She said, "Go see Wicked, leave with a wicked illness."
It's the truth. I just thought, and I think it was the producer or the director for that movie that won the best picture, and he said something about, he pulled out his paper and read this whole diatribe of why people need to go to the movies. And I was like, dude, you can get up there and say whatever you like, but I'm looking at my wallet. I got 4 kids. I got a mortgage. I got 1 kid in college. I'm not spending $200 to take my family to the movies.
And no. You guys don't clean the theaters. We're not going.
It's not even worth it. So I can get what I want streaming. I can get what I want delivered to me.
Okay, so apparently the theater, not the movie industry, knows this because they put it out in part of distribution. It doesn't stay at the theater very long before it comes to the home theater.
Right. I just didn't appreciate him getting up there and telling me that, because I was like, dude, you live in a bubble. I don't care if he's not Steven Spielberg making muku billions of dollars. You're in Hollywood and you're surviving. You are making money more than the average person, man.
That's Dr. Tachi says the man who just won a fancy award. Be quiet.
That's all I heard when he was talking. Oh, and people, you should take your kids to the movies, and and we need to get back to the movies and the movies and the movie theaters and the movie theater. I was like, man, you want something. I don't want what you want.
Okay? And that is part of what you're talking about on the branding, giving the people what they want. I have a quote here. It says, it's far easier to give people what they want than it is to persuade them to want something else.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can't make me do what you want to do. And that's what I mean as business owners. We have this one track minded thing of, I'm gonna get on social media and I'm gonna post and people are gonna like this and they're gonna buy because I put a post and I have a link. There's more to it than that. Same thing with this guy at the Oscars. He just kept going on and on about what he wanted. but that's not what I want. Know what the American people want. And this is what I always say about pay attention to what's going on in the news. You don't have to follow it because it'll make you angry. I'm just saying be aware that people are in a space where they're not going to do that. I got to survive, man. I don't really care about spending. I can't tell you the last time I went to the movies in New York City. I can't remember the price of the ticket. I think it's 20, 30. I don't even know because I don't want to go. So because you want people to go to the movies so the theaters can survive, we have a distribution system that we don't need that. And if the pandemic didn't tell you that, man, I don't know what to tell you. So you can stand on your Oscar stage and keep talking about the movie theater. I think it was a couple of people that did that. And I was like, you people are just such a big disconnect. And it's sad. But oh well. This is what's gonna happen. So I saw that and I was thinking of Dr. Touch. I was like, ooh. Wonder what she thinks. Oh, okay. So she got a big
Instead of encouraging people to go someplace they don't want to, why not create the theater experience at home? They should be selling things to make this possible.
You think? And we've talked about this a lot. Ever since the pandemic, we have talked about the movie theaters and they're crying, when nobody goes to the movies. Well, nobody goes around in a horse and buggy either. You know, we don't do that anymore.
There's
I don't.
They deliver food to you, they deliver groceries to you, and they could have something where it's movie night and the movies are there, and have it, have your popcorn and candy delivered to you. Right? I'm like,
why is candy at the theater $10? A little box of M&Ms. Why?
Now, see, I'm thinking outside. I'm really thinking I can go to one of the Smart and Final or something and go get the pack of candy and go get some popcorn. Just keep it at the house so it's movie night. Go in my own cabinet and pull out the candy and the popcorn. And
listen, I tell my daughter, listen, we ain't getting all of that. When she was little, we're not getting all of that. Because kids want what they want. Like, no, you can have a small soda and a small popcorn. You want something, Mom? Nope, I'm good. Because I'm not spending $20 on a little box of popcorn. It's ridiculous. So that's what I mean about the disconnect with your brand messaging. So they're getting up there. Oh, yeah. Because I haven't watched the Oscars in a while. I don't know why I decided to watch, because I didn't know any of the movies. I knew none of them. I was like, who, what, where, what, who? I didn't know that. I just wanted to see some of those things.
And Dr. Tachi will probably address this. The Oscars are their little club they got together.
A bubble.
They got their little club together and said, here, everybody, here are the movies who won. And we're like, what happened to the movie I saw? It
on the bat. Oh, what a good job we had this year in Hollywood. And I'm sitting there going, man, when that guy started talking, I was like, just you people are just disconnected. Hey, Mark.
Mark said, for an extra $10, I'll pour soda and popcorn on your floor, rustle the bag during the movie, speak too loud about what I'm seeing, and for an extra $5, I'll take a phone call.
Thank you, Mark. And see that Mark just listed all of the things that keep people from a theater. Yep. So if you're a business owner, you want your customers to say what Mark just said, because you need to fix that instead of getting on a stage and telling me what I need to do, man. If you don't sit down,
so you telling them to come over to the Raggedy Haunted House.
So I was like, you don't know, but oh well, enjoy. Oh,
TJ, who was the person that made this speech?
It was, I'm thinking it was the director of the movie that won Best Picture.
Okay, what movie was that?
The Best Picture was something called Amora. Like I said, I didn't know any of the. I just went in cold. I was like, let me watch.
How do we know? How is it Best Picture? And I haven't seen it. Y'all didn't ask me.
I didn't I didn't know Demi Moore had a movie where something came out of her back. I was like, what? I didn't know anything. So like I said, I haven't watched it in years. Something just said, oh, just flip it on, and I was doing other things. But I glad I saw it, because I saw that guy, and he put his Doc Tachi is the guy that put his Oscar on the floor, and everybody went. He put his Oscar on the floor and pulled out a piece of paper and like, I want to read this. Whoever that guy is, he's the only one that did it. Young guy.
Okay, so here's the thing: they didn't put a podium up there for you to put nothing down on.
Most people hold it. Most people hold it and say what they got to say.
That was a subtle hint. We don't want you camping out at the podium.
But he put it on the floor. I heard a gasp, because I hear things, and it was quick. Because I don't think anybody has walked up there, won an Oscar, and put it on the floor, the dirty floor. So most people cradle it and they grip. Most people grip it. Like they grip
one.
What? He put it on the floor because it was more important for him to say that thing about berating American people for not going to the movies. And I don't even know if it was just American people. He was just saying the movie theaters in general. But I bring that up because to me, it was such a blatant disconnect from reality, which is what you don't want to do when you're talking about your brand and your brand messaging. Again, they were in a bubble. Well, and this is one of the main complaints that like middle America will say about Hollywood. Like there's a huge disconnect. We don't care about your glittery gowns. And also, I believe the ratings was down 8%. I want to say 8%. I don't know, 10%. I don't know the number. It was just down. But it's because of the disconnect. People, you're not talking. You want us to consume your product, but you're not giving me what I want. Netflix is giving me what I want because it may not be Oscar quality stuff. And actually, the Tyler Perry movie was up for, I think, one of the sound or music things. But see, it's not about that. It's about what Fran was saying. I'm at home. I'm in my comfy pajamas. I'm in my comfy my comfy couch, my comfy chair. I'm all cozied up with my partner, husband, wife, children. We're all happy. It's warm inside if it's winter. I don't have to get in my car like Fran says. Who wants to do that? Everything comes to us now.
And load all the kids in the car. I want this. Billy's touching me. Billy's touching me. And you got somebody who.
No parent wants that. So that's what I mean about a disconnect between what the audience wants. They don't want your movie theater. So, okay. So I bring that up because you got to have the connection. You got to know what they want. You got to solve their problems. And let me get back to the list because I was saying about it being short, clear, no confusion, no jargon, and consistent. That's what I'm saying about having the similar name and having one place where you send them one ring to. Is it that one ring to rule them all? Something to rule them all is coming through my head. Somebody says something, one thing to rule them all. So you want to have that because it's going to make it easier for you to be consistent about where you are. Where can I find? Because if you go, here's an example. If you do a podcast as a guest, they'll ask at the end, where can we find you? Or where can we find out more? Oh, on Instagram, I'm 357-867. And on LinkedIn, I'm so and so and so. And on YouTube, I'm X-Men 36.
No. And so we call that Sybil. If y'all don't know the movie, she has 16 personalities.
Just one.
We just get one personality.
Just one. You can be everywhere. Have one door. One door. So that allows you to be consistent. And it also allows you to go places that aren't visual, where somebody can put a link or put a banner on the screen or QR, whatever the thing is that you're offering. You have to be able to say it, like I said earlier at the top of the show about the tagline. Like the tagline, I've been working on my tagline. I'm going to put it up everywhere. Just haven't had the time. I'm going to change mine too, and I have it. I have it saved. Let me see real quick. I had it saved because I was gonna put it on the screen, but now I can't find it. Oh my goodness, where did I put it? Hold on, sorry. I had it. I said a little bit of it at the top. Simple market strategies that turn followers into loyal customers. Now that's what it is now. May refine it, but it's about what do I offer? Simple marketing strategies for people that want to turn their not people, business owners. And I could put all that in there, but that's a mouthful. I need something that's one line simple, just like what the Bizchicks have.
Okay, we got
One
a
line
couple of
simple.
comments here.
Hmm?
Dr. Tachi said, not X-Men 3650.
Again, the things that just come to my head. I'm like, what do you know? The nonsense names, and we talked about this earlier. I'm going to read Mark's comment.
Mark said, I wouldn't say it's not what people want. I would say it's a specific segment of the population. It's going out to a dine-in restaurant versus Grubhub.
Right. And see, I'm not saying that everybody wants to stay home. I'm just saying that
Or
the major
fine dining versus
consensus is that in a certain, and again, this is why I talk about age groupings. Each age group is going to each cohort, each generation is going to do things differently. They're going to do things differently. For example, thank you for bringing this, Mark, because I just read this today. That the article, I got to go back. It says Gen Z does something differently that nobody else does about their it was about their phone. And I was like, well, what could that be? Because the title got me in. Like, what could that be? I was so excited. It is that excuse me. The author of the article was saying that Gen Z will have their phone set to do not disturb, or something that shows up in messaging. So when you try to message them, it says, I'm trying to think of it. Jessica has their notifications turned off.
Silenced, yes.
Right. And the reason why is because they only want certain messages to come through. And I was like, wow, I do that. I'm not Gen Z, but I do that because somebody said, oh, your notifications are off. And I was like, no, and I forgot that I turned it on because I have it set for important people on my important list that their messages must get through. Everything else to me is noise because I got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, if you're not on that, like, this message must get through. Like this, your contact list of people, family members that you must get their messages. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. Their messages come through. But I forgot that I turned this on, so I was like, oh, it does say that. Because they said, oh, your messages are turned off. You got do not. I was like, no, your messages. Because I'm like, oh, and I said, oh, because you're on my VIP list, your messages must come through. So
Right.
there's only a couple people because this is how I like to work. I have so many things popping up on my phone. The messages, the notifications, even though they're silent, they pop on the screen. You know, I could turn all that, but you know what? I said, hey, I'll just put the focus on. I'll put the thing on. Only these people can get through. Everything else goes to the silent corner. So this is what Gen Z is doing. And they were actually, the article was saying like this is the thing to do to not save your sanity. It was something about mental health.
Right. And because it's like having a barrage of stuff coming at you.
Bombardment.
And maybe it's a good thing that they haven't learned how to handle all of that. And they just decide, I'm not going to do that.
Filter. Remember we talked about curating your feed.
Right. And that's a good, but some people don't. And they just take it all in and I can't do it. Mark said, let's be honest, no one likes Jessica.
No one likes Jessica. Let me while we're laughing, let me see if I can find it real quick because I saved it. And again, I save stuff on my phone. I save things everywhere, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to that. I gotta go back to that. Oh yeah, I did save it. It was from. Oh no, that's the wrong one. It was from. Oh, it's not here. I saved it somewhere. I'll post it later. I got so many things saved, but it was just the title. Again, here's another example of messaging that sticks. The title got me to pay attention because I was looking for something in Google. And when you open the app on your phone, it shows you news items, blog articles from things that you have searched for before. So I have a lot of tech stuff. And I saw this because I went to search for something else. I was like, oh, I'm going to search for something. And I opened it, a tab G, opened it up on my phone. And then it was like, oh,
What
something
was
about Gen Z. Excuse me. Something about Gen Z and something. The title got me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have paid attention to it.
do you remember what that title, I mean, part of the title was? Or
I saved it. I was trying to. I have so many
it's
things.
like Gen Z, and just give me a topic. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I'm trying to remember. I just know it was something about Gen Z. This is something that Gen Z does that saves something about mental something.
Okay, because I saw.
I thought I saved it. Oh yeah. I thought I saved it, guys. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's all right. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
But again, it pops up for me. It just popped up and I tapped on it real quick because it caught my attention. Oh, I had something about chat GPT in here. So that is what, and I don't know if I can get it to pop back up again. I would have to go on my Google history and
Mm-hmm.
see but see, Google knows what I like TV shows. There's stuff in here about small business SEO
Oh, is
strategies.
this the News Nation? Let's see. Okay, I am not going to Facebook to watch this.
No, I
Study
gotta.
finds many young people avoid phone calls.
That might be it. I don't think that was the title though.
Right. Well, this is Facebook.
Yeah. Take a look at it and see. I know it's in my Google settings somewhere. I would just have because I thought I saved it. I would have to look at my and I didn't search for it, so it's not my search history. I was looking at my Google search history and it's not going to be because I didn't search. I just let me see. It might be here. Let me look on the search. I'm sorry guys, because I was
Well, this is really interesting because you want to know why they're avoiding calls. And
right.
I'm trying to see if and this might have been an article earlier.
I found it. Okay,
Okay, cool.
let me send it. Let me send it. Let me get the link. And then okay. Oh, come on.
And put it in the private chat too, because
Yeah.
I'd like
Yeah,
to.
I'm trying to get I sent it, but it's not. Let me copy it. All right. So I'm gonna put and I'm gonna read a little bit. Let me put it in the chat and then if Fran wants to bring it up.
All
That's
right.
it.
I'm
So
just interested.
oh,
So,
okay. So the title was enabling this phone setting reduces anxiety. Gen Z says. That was the title of the article. And then I read a little bit about it. It said the article the artist. The author. Can't get the words out. The author was saying that they were texting a teenage sister because they have iPhones. So the iPhone tells me that she has notifications silenced, implying that she may not see it right away. Excuse me, something in my throat. The weird thing is she typically responds right away or within minutes. Okay, she's saying that her sister's always on the phone. So she's always on the phone. So comes to find out, because she was saying this didn't make sense to me, and it was like I don't use it that way because I guess she's millennial. She said, I have always used do not disturb for times when I'm not on my phone at all, when I'm sleeping or in movie theaters. But for the younger generation, it seems like it's more than a switch to silent notifications. It's a social signal that gives them room to breathe or hide. And I was like, okay, I have that. So this is the thing. And I like to look into the insights of Gen Z and what they're doing because it will filter up. It won't trickle down. It will filter up. Gen Z does it, millennial does it, Gen X, it goes up. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, I do that. Because you don't want all of these things flying at you. You got other things to focus on. So I feel like if my phone, because if my phone beeps or something, that's why I have it where if clients need me, like I have settings for things that they pop up. Like that's another group that will get through that. Okay, that's something important on the list. All the other like notifications for email, newsletters, and Substack and LinkedIn and whatever, I see those when I have time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a setting you set, and it's like do not disturb, or there's different levels, but it's do not disturb unless it's this person, and you decide the person, you decide the website, you decide the app, you decide what app gets through. This is iPhone. I'm pretty sure they got something for Android like this. But the article caught my eye because I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Because we're living in a world where I get to set what I like and what I don't like. See, as a business, and a lot of older businesses, a lot of like, I would say Coca-Cola, they've been in business 18, whatever, and others, they have this attitude of, I could just bombard my customers with messaging because they're on the internet. And I'm like, oh, I can block it. I don't really care about you unless it's a business or a brand that I really connected with. Really connected with, like I can't miss their messaging. Oh, they're going to get through this thing. Then I have set up the barrier. You see?
Right. And so in the article that you talked about, it says psychotherapist Lauren Larkin told HuffPost it can be about setting boundaries in a time when people feel like they can always be reached.
Right.
It helps create a sense of control over relationships that aren't serving them, either by being less accessible or having less access themselves to what others are doing.
Cause see, almost. I'm not gonna say everybody. And there's gonna be a new study, talking about smartphone usage and all that. We'll get into and like over the world. But most people have access to some sort of device, and businesses are thinking, well, I could just reach them anytime I want.
Right.
Not necessary. Now, the other side of this is, how do you get on the VIP list? Well, that's what I'm talking about. Brand messaging. Being clear, concise. Where's my list? Let me get back to my list. Being short, clear, consistent. Speaking their language. Getting through at the top. This ties into what I was saying about the Periscope marketing. I said this a while ago, that everybody was going to go under the water. And they're going to pop up to see, okay. And then, oh, things are bad. Especially now, let me go back down under the water and let me go into a safe community of my friends, my family, this group of people, LGBTQTIA plus. I'm sorry if I didn't get that right. They have their own community because they want to feel safe. Everybody wants to feel safe now. Everybody's going underground, hibernation, going to places where I'm going to be with like-minded people where I feel safe and I can have conversations. That's what it is. And when I read this article, I said, that's that. Businesses and brands think because they're on social media, they're beating the drum. Nobody's listening, beating the drum. Because, oh, everybody must be online. Everybody must want my messaging. Everybody wants to hear what my business has to say and offer and sell. No, you want that. You want that. That's why I brought up the Oscar thing. That guy wants that. Hollywood wants that. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. Because if we wanted it, we would do it. See, that's the thing you have to realize about customers. If I want something from you, I'll find you. I'll
Right.
go through the Amazon jungle with a machete to find you if that's where you are. See? But how do you get people? That's the make it stick part. That's
And
the make it stick.
you don't make you don't get people to do anything that's something that they wanted to do. um if you're giving them what they want and you know what they need and you package it in what they want, then
Right.
they will come back to you and keep coming back to you and keep
Right.
coming back to you.
Right. So if I want to know like the latest that's going on with marketing in a sense of academics and like that kind of way, I know to go to talk to Mark Schaefer. If I want to know about what's going on with YouTube as far as being a content creator and how to make money and how to grow my YouTube channel, I go to Roberto Blake. See how I roll these things roll off my brain because I've connected with them over time and saw their messaging, and they had something that I wanted to hear. First of all, not that I wanted to buy. I bought things from them, but I didn't buy right away. See, it was a journey, no like and trust, because their messaging was on point because they knew their why. They know their core message. They know why they're online. See? And it's not about, okay, well, we got to get everybody's my customer. I got to get everybody in the boat. Everybody got to get in the analogy of the fish. They go out in the deep ocean with the fish trawlers and they get all the fish. We can't do that anymore. We can't do that because of this article. People are going to start doing that. Gen Z is doing it now. What happens when they turn on the do not disturb and only the important messages get through, and you're not on the important list as a business or a brand? What do you do? What do you do? It's something to think about because what Gen Z does, like I said, trickles up. And if you don't believe me, remember text messaging. I remember a time when I was like, I'll never text message.
Right.
Because they were doing all kind of crazy things here in New York City. They were coming out of the subway, stopping on the steps, blocking the way because they were texting. They were walking down the street, texting, not looking up, walking into people, walking into things. And I was like, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. Why are they doing that? Now I'm like, don't call me. Don't call me. Am I right?
Yeah. Because
Go ahead.
call is an interruption and you don't have time to talk to that person. Thank God for caller ID because I can't talk to them right now.
Ooh, call ID. Remember the days before call ID? I knew you had to pick up the phone. It could be anybody, but you had to pick up that phone because you were waiting for a call from, oh, he's gonna call me to go out on a date, or oh, my best friend. You had to answer every phone call, and when call ID showed up, baby, woo, we were happy. Same thing for emoji, and I talked about this emoji marketing. Remember a day when we didn't use emojis to convey messages? I'm like, that's the stupidest thing ever.
Good. And now you have to. I go through them like, let me make sure I got the right emoji. I don't want to send.
And you got it right. So see, from a friend is saying, you got to know the right meaning. And with each generation, it means different things. A thumbs up, and we talked about this, the thumbs up to Gen Z is a negative thing to them.
Right.
Thumbs up.
It's okay. And they're like,
it confuses them. So see, I say all of this because I'm like, okay, we got to get the messaging right because of the fact that the Periscope, everybody's going underground. Everybody's going into safe communities, going into the family group chat, wherever. I don't care what app you're using. There's different apps. I talked about I think it was the Peanut app. I think that's the name of it, with the mothers.
Right. Women from different aspects in different phases of life.
Right.
They're all there, but there are sub communities within,
because it's safe.
Right. And then there's new mothers, lactating mothers, women who are in their 40s, and it just all the way
Yeah,
through. And they all are in this app.
right. And see, sometimes that kind of um mindset doesn't work, fan base. Sometimes that doesn't work,
Did you throw that in there?
fan base. I deleted it again for the final time.
Oh my gosh.
We'll talk about it on Friday.
Yeah, we shall, because that was like, come on.
Yeah, we'll
What
talk
are
about
you
it. It has to do with the
doing?
founder. So, but I'm like, hey, more power to you. But and what I'll say is that a lot of the things that we said about fan base in several shows on Friday, other people have said that. It's been across the board, like the exact same things that we've said about fan base. So I've given it 4 chances. I can't give it anymore. But see, that's an example of your messaging. You're not listening to people. There's a disconnect. It's because you want something, but you don't care about me, the user, the consumer,
So
what
you
I
have
want.
so you have to come to my party this way. You can't wear that. You can't do that. You can't
Then I'm
bring
not
this.
coming.
I'm like, okay. You want me
Oh, an
over
all
here?
white party? No thanks. Especially now, no thanks. But it's just that okay. And here's another signal when that person, business owner, founder, whoever, the guy on Sunday that's telling me what I must do because I must be this, that, and the other. No, you can't give me anger because I won't accept your business, your brand, your offering. Find someone who wants what you're offering. They're there. Now, it
And
may
then,
be a small group, but they're there.
or maybe you tweak what you're offering to what people want, not just
Well,
trying to
okay,
make.
yeah. That's a part of making it stick, your brand messaging. Find out what they want. This
and solve
Oscar thing, I keep coming back. I don't want that. If I
and
did,
solve that.
I would do it. If I wanted fan base, I would do it. Agree?
And you might have all the little components of what you think somebody wants, but if they're telling you, well, I don't like that part of something, then you just need to figure out how to. And if enough people are telling you we don't want this part of something, fix it.
You can't call me a hater just because well, you won't come over to my app. You're a hater. You're
Okay,
hating
no.
against this group.
And we wanted to try and work with what you offered, but it wasn't as presented.
And see, the thing is, what I said about giving it 4 chances, that was said also. They've given fan base several chances. Everything that we said about fan base, so many people have said that online. This very same thing. And I was like, I was like, we already talked about it. So, when you're angry, that's a sign that there's
It's
a
not
disconnect.
good.
You need to find it. I don't know what to tell you. So so those are some of the things. There's a couple other things I want to mention before we leave. So your messaging should be simple, clear, and bold. Remember that should be short, because it's going to help you with consistency. You also want to tap in emotion, but again, like I said, you don't want the negative emotion, like what's going on with the founder fan base. You don't want that. You don't want that. So when you're thinking about your business and what you're selling, you're not going to sell the thing, the product or the service. You're going to sell what it gives you, what the audience feels, what the customer feels when they engage with your brand. How do they feel? Then you speak their language. Again, you don't talk buzzwords, you don't talk jargon unless you're going to explain it. And I said the easy way to do that is to have a piece of content saying, hey, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my this, or better yet, I'll send you a guide. Send me your email through, go to this link. I'll send you a guide if you're confused about some of the words, because it's important and I want you to know. So there's a way to say that. So you want to speak their language. And you also, another thing I didn't mention, you want to use contrast to stand out, but you don't want it to be negative. Fan base, I keep bringing it up. You don't want it to be negative. You don't want the message to be received negatively. You don't want that, because see, it's going to turn people off. And guess what? People talk to other people online, and that's what happened with fan base.
Isn't that like how your mom or somebody told you to answer the phone? Hello, this is a such and such residence. How can I help you? Not like what? There's a different way to answer the phone. You just don't, and you want people to come back. Really?
So really, let me just wrap it up. So keep it simple, keep it sticky, short, clear, no jargon, no confusion, consistent, use the same messaging everywhere. And to tie it all up, remember to close with a CTA, call to action. You're doing all of this because you do want them to sign up for your email list. Buy this, go to your website, follow you on Instagram. You're going to tell them simply what it is you want them to do. Always close with that. That's how you make it sticky, and that's how you sell it. The call to action.
With a smile.
With a smile. A powerful, emotional, clear message.
Okay? Right. And because you can smile in an email, you can smile in a text. You can tell when it's angry. When it's an angry text, you can tell when it's an angry email. That's why they put the little AI tools in the thing to make you make it sound. You sure you want to send that like that? Where you can change the tone.
Yeah. And see, the one thing about the fan base guy and the Oscar guy is that they think that we can't connect with the undercurrent of emotion. We're human. That's the first thing we're going to pick up. You may not know it instantly, but our brains, our feelings is going to pick up. That guy's angry. Why? But he's yelling and screaming about buying something or joining fan base or going to the movies. But I don't like your undertone, man. You could say, it's like what is the thing about a dog? Like you don't, if they're snarling or something, you look at the tail. You don't look at the barking. You look at the tail. You look at the tail to tell the true emotion. I can tell. So I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to disengage, and I'm not going to do the thing. It's a lot of brands and businesses trying to force people to buy their product and service and getting mad because we don't want it. I gotta want it, and you gotta offer it to me or present it to me in a way that makes it sticky and with the things I just said. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I hope that message gets through, and we'll continue to talk about this branding journey, because like I said, it's about having a brand, having a packaging, a consistent packaging that you can go everywhere. And if you leave a place, they say, hey, Bizchicks, Terry Johnson Online, and you don't really have to sell it because you presented it and left it in place and moved on to the next thing, or you keep making your content or whatever. Breadcrumbs. You're dropping breadcrumbs for them to find you. And like I said, if I want something, I know where to find these people because they're in my head, because they've made a connection with me. Okay.
So, and if you want to continue your connection with TJ, just be sure to reach out to her, Terry Johnson Online everywhere. And you can go to terryjohnsononline.com/info to get connected. And so that you can keep up with the information that she is bringing to you. She's always here on Tuesday. And you can always come back here and on Friday. Because Friday is when we find out about what's happening with all the apps, what's happening with all the platforms and stuff like that. You need to be here on Friday just so you can fix your feed, know what's going on, make some wise decision with your social media. Let's see, what is this? Mark says, I noticed that none of you took a moment to wish Chicago a happy 188th birthday. Wow, didn't know that. I won't
I didn't
tell
know
you.
that
Get
either.
your name before you visit.
Ooh,
Mm.
Chicago.
It's
I love Chicago.
188 days, 188 years old. Well, happy birthday,
Chicago's fun.
Chicago.
Chicago is fun. I loved it, Mark. You're a fun. You're a fun place.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
and Dr. Tachi says today is also the 180th birthday of Florida.
Wow. Look at all
And
these
it's Mardi
birthdays
Gras.
going
Okay, we
around.
got stuff going on all
Well, let
over.
me find out when New York City's birthday is. I have no idea. 1760 something. I don't know.
It's close to 200 because it wasn't it here. How old is New York City?
I
It
don't know.
was here
I
when
would
they
have to ask my thing. I'm like,
yeah, okay. Anyway, happy birthday, Chicago. Happy birthday, Florida.
yeah.
And Mardi Gras. I forgot that what that meant in French.
Uh,
Something
I wonder
green. I don't
something
know.
about let the good time. No, that's
Well,
something.
anyway, they taught us in school with Mardi Gras when it's a French word, and I couldn't anyway. I'll go back and look. Fat
Fat
Tuesday. That
Tuesday.
was it.
That
Yes,
was
thank
it.
you. I'm like, I know
But what's the thing about letting the good times roll? There's something that says
that
that.
was a song,
But
TJ.
there's a saying too. Something about letting the good times. I don't know. But
Anyway, it's
Mardi
Fat
Gras is a
Tuesday.
fun time. It is fun there. So
Yes. So thank you for tuning in today. Make sure that you're following Dr. Tachi on Ask Mark
Mhm,
Ward with a
mhm,
4-minute mark.
mhm.
On both of them are on YouTube, and Dr. Tachi does Mediascope, and she'll be doing that tomorrow. And IndieSuitMedia.tv.
Mhm.
Make sure you all are connected some kind of way because we got information here, whatever kind of information you need to take the hassle out of your hustle. That is
Yes.
why we are here.
Yes. Because I
So,
don't want you to give. We don't want you to give up. That's basically where I'm coming from. My wise, like I don't want you to give up. Business owners, don't give up.
right, because it does work.
Yes.
You can become a part of the Bizchicks community by going to bizchicks.net. It'll take you straight over to our Substack channel. We
Mhm.
don't spam. Just going to tell you that right now.
Nope.
We will only say something when we got something to say.
Hey.
Yeah, we're not going to bombard you with so much stuff that you can't handle it. And then you can also text Biz to 33777. You'll get notifications when we had our first Monday event, when we've got special events coming up,
Mhm.
when we're celebrating birthdays like Chicago and
Chicago.
Florida and Mardi Gras. Just some
Mhm.
information that'll keep you up to date to help you take the hassle out of your hustle.
And Mark has a last comment there.
Tariffs here. Okay. So with that, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you next week and on Friday. And go ahead, take the hassle out of your hustle. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.